I've been doing a couple different things. Well, I took some time off because I was an emotional wreck after the show. And then you go through that period of like rediscovering yourself in a way and like figuring out what's important, and that growing period, just dealing with it. And so I started taking acting classes as therapy, and I just fell in love with it. I was just really shocked because I didn't think I'd be playing this a third time, let alone with like Rupert and Boston Rob and people that I have been fans of for so long. So it's really kind of surreal and kind of intimidating, to be honest. I'm a little nervous. I haven't played with like an all-stars before, so I'm kind of like wondering how it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be really cutthroat because when you play with people that have played before, like living in the jungle doesn't matter anymore. Not eating doesn't really matter anymore. We've been through it. It's like whatever. You expect all of that. So I think it's going to be like beyond that. It's going to be the next level. I am determined to win this season. I'm going to play really aggressive, and I'm not going to settle for anything less than getting to the end. I'm definitely going to play more of an aggressive game. I think one of my big downfalls that I didn't see going into Micronesia, because my finale in China didn't air yet, because I did the same mistake in both seasons. But I wasn't aggressive enough, and I apologized for my game, and I just didn't stand up for myself or for what I did. And this time it's definitely going to be different. I'm going to definitely play more aggressive and stand up for what I do in the show. And I have to realize like it's more of a game. And I think I got too wrapped up into the humanity part of it, like the human part of it. Like I felt bad, and like you become friends with these people, and it's hard to like keep the line straight between what's real and what's in the game.
I got my master's in physiology and biophysics at Georgetown, and I finished my first 2 years of medical school, and I'm a third year at George Washington University. This time I want to be sure that I have a relationship with everybody, not just the people that are in my alliance, just because, you know, when you're in a corner, it's not the best time to be like, hi, I'm Candace, can you do me a favor, you know, if you've never talked to the person before. So I just want to be open to everyone, but beyond that, I'm not really going to change that much. I think people are probably wondering like what I'm doing here because I think I've finished 8th. I'm probably the lowest finisher that's here, and I didn't think I really got that much airtime, and so they probably just I think most people probably don't even know who I am. So I mean, I think that's good for me. My family is huge fans of Survivor, so they were really behind me going. I was mostly worried about my fiance's family because I didn't want them to think like I'm leaving him, you know, for the wedding, but they were all behind me. I thought, you know, I'm moved on with my life. It was something I'd always wanted to do, and I did it, and then I was ready to move on. But I mean, if they ask you, I mean, it's a chance of a lifetime. It's a cool experience, so you can't really say no. I'm not as fit as I was before because I've been nerding it up in the library, like sitting with my face in a book all day. So I tried to work out a little bit, but I don't know, I've been eating my face off though for the past couple of weeks. I think I'm gonna just kind of be myself and do my thing.
Looking at the cast of characters, you know, you have to wing it really. There's no planning. I can make all the plans I want right now. Once you get there and the game starts, wow, this is stiff competition. When I saw like Tom Westman, Boston Rob, the real gamers, you know, the real Stephanie LaGrossa, you know, the players. I'm hoping that, you know, people see them as targets like I do. You know, I hear like, oh, you're a social player, you could be a target. Yeah, but look at the players here. I think I'm perceived as a under-the-radar player, maybe a good strategist, likable. I would like to say, no, I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to go for it and I'm going to do this and that. But I have to feel how it feels, you know, how's everybody acting, how's the day going, who's looking shifty, you know? So I really determine how I'm going to play once we're all together and we're allowed to talk, and, you know, you see who's looking where and who's walking away and so on and so forth. Well, my husband, you know, he's going to miss me, but he knows. He knows I didn't win yet, and he knows I can't stop. I wouldn't stop until, you know, especially given the opportunity. I'm hoping that my sons see it as, wow, Mom never gives up.
I have a big goal about writing 20 symphonies in 20 years, and based on 20 different cultures, and go to Japan, study their culture, study their native instruments, history, and weave that all into a symphony, and then come back, play it with my symphony, and then go to another country, Argentina. And so, I mean, that's like, when I look long term, I think that's, those are my goals. Short-term goals, win Survivor. I'm not going to compromise. I'm still going to play it with honor and integrity, but I've got several tricks up my sleeve that I'm going to throw out there. My father always used to ask me, what are you going to do for an encore? If I do something good, my dad would say, you got to top it. You got to do better. And so when I looked over this last season and I saw this character, the Dragon Slayer, that really took a lot of flack, but also really was a one-of-a-kind character. I want to take the Dragon Slayer. I can't do the same stuff. You know, if I go out there saying, well, there's an ancient Japanese samurai proverb, people are going to be like, yeah, we've heard it. So I've got to take the Dragon Slayer, morph into something else, even bigger and better, and have that character that I end up being tie into the philosophies that I'm going to try to push this game. I've got it all dialed in. I've got nicknames for people based on certain characteristics. And so we'll see how much I unfold of it once I get out there. But it's going to be big, and it should be bigger than the last one. I'm ready to trust no one, slay everyone. I'm ready to give them nothing and take from them everything. There's a quote from 300 and a quote from Jeff Probst there.
So much is the same for me. I drive back to Texas all the time. I split my time between here in Texas, the ranch there, my family, which I love, and I'm fortunate to be able to do that. And then when I'm here, I'm building cars. I still restore hot rods and muscle cars. And so when the call came in for this, it was that immediate feeling that I remember so well when I got the invite to go to Australia. So all I wanted to do was check my schedule, make sure I had this 7 weeks open, and as soon as I found out I'd be able to do it, I said, let's go. Mindset and attitude is such a huge component to this game, and it's why I've prepared myself. I have one strategy: to go over there, have fun, and stay positive. You know, nobody wants to be around people that aren't having fun. And I think if I bring anything to it, that's it. The fact that I've been down this road twice. I know how hard it is. And so we'll see how that works. It wasn't so much about seeing players that I dreaded going into the game with them. It was excitement. I mean, I'm still a huge fan of the show. I watch every season. And so it's almost a little like being starstruck going into that room this morning where you get your first glance at the players, because there's so many people that I just want to go up and shake their hand and tell them how much I admired the way they played the game. JT played a solid game, and then you've got girls like Stephanie and even Sugar. You know, I look forward to getting to know them better, you know, because all I know is what I saw, but I like the way they competed. Isn't it crazy? You have this group of people, you've narrowed it down, all these people were selected for their respective seasons. Now you're picking the cream of the crop and you're putting them together. Oh my gosh, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I really wanted to do it again, and the season right after mine I thought was too soon and it was not going to go well, but now I've spent a couple years and I'm really ready to go back and try again, and I want to have a better attitude about it too, you know. I'm sure everyone thought it was hilarious, but it wasn't so much fun just to always be like, oh my goodness, like I was terrified the entire time, and so I want to have like a little more of a sense of humor about things. Like now that I know what's going on and it's not like, you know, everything isn't the end of the world, and you know, so it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a unique experience. I think it'll be really different too. I remember the first day wandering around thinking like, there's no inside. This is crazy. It's raining and there's nowhere to go. I'm just gonna be wet. This is insane. But you know, I adapted to it. It took a few days. I think it took to like day like 10 or 11, and then after that it just sort of, you go like feral. It's fine, and then you're like, all I have to do is follow rules. This is the easiest thing ever. I'm surprised at how many large people there are in this cast. And it's like, I was the smallest out of the small cast. Like China had a little teeny cast. There was all these little munchkins running around, and I was the smallest of them. So I think this is gonna be really funny. So either I can run circles around them, or someone's gonna break my leg by accident. I think it's gonna be fun to see like Amanda and James again, the old school China crew, and you know, other people too that I've met briefly but haven't really gotten to know, like the Silver Fox, Tom Westman. He's in trouble. Watch out.
I'm super hungry. I'm just like, I have to win this time. There's 3 aspects of the game: the mental, the physical, and the social, and I lacked in the social aspect of the game. And I was too, I aligned quickly with people that I really didn't know. So this time it's easier because I've already seen most of these people play. I understand their personality, their psyches. So I already know who I'm gonna get along with and who I'm not, and who's stable and who's not. And I just need to find that like one person from the team that, you know, I get with, and, you know, pull some people in, get the numbers to get myself to the merge, and then once the merge hits, then, you know, re-strategize. But I want to find like one person that I can stick with. Stephanie, I don't know, I got a weird vibe from Stephanie. Maybe. We're like the same type, so I feel like we're gonna be batting heads. I want to get her off. Boston Rob, 100%. When I saw him, a big smile across my face. I'm like, that is it. That is my #1 guy. So I'm just hoping that he's on my team so I can align with him. I'm good with the physical. I'm mentally strong. It's the social aspect. I really need to play the social aspect of the game. I just can't wait to get on the island and start playing the game. I'm just pumped.
Well, I've been doing the same thing I was before the show. I went back to manage Black Angus cattle there in Alabama, but also, you know, I'm doing charity events and things, which is great. You know, never in a million years did I think I could sign an autograph and people paid money to get it, you know. So I do all I can to help the kids and stuff for the charities, but other than that, I'm working full time. Me and Sugar being a couple going into the show would not help me very much, I don't feel like. So we're going to just remain friends going into the show. We'll just have to see. There's some people that I was not so happy to see, like Sari. She's going to be like one of my biggest competitors. She's the one I fear most of the people I've seen so far. But I was very happy to see like Rupert and Tom, some guys that I can relate to, that I feel like I may be able to align myself with. Amanda and James, I like those guys, they're really cool. But you know, seeing Parvati and Amanda and James all here together, and there's like a LA group here I got to watch out for. So. You know, my first strategy was to build relationships with people that they did not want to break, and neither did I. You know, became really good friends with people, made it hard for them to vote me out. Well, this is a different game because all these people here have already been through that situation. They already know what they have to do. They're going to have to vote people out. They're going to have to. So it's going to be a different ball game. I'm going to try to be the nice guy that, you know, float around like I did last time. But as soon as I see that's not working, it's a whole new ball game. Whatever it takes.
I love the challenge, a little bit of everything, you know. I love surviving in the woods. I definitely love competing in the challenges, and money's really not a bad thing. There's really nobody I wouldn't want to go against. I kind of like the challenge. If I really don't like you, I'd really rather go against you and see if I can really beat you. I might just keep it simple and just do what I try to make the girls do the work, do all the social games. I'm definitely better at flirting. I don't have to lie that much growing up. I kind of, if you ask me a question, I'm really not the guy to have to go beat around the bush with you. And it's kind of like my downside in the whole social game. They're used to dealing with people and stuff. I've kind of always had my own business, always grow, you know, alone by myself. So if you ask me a question, I'm pretty much prone to tell you the truth. I'm not really good at shucking and jiving most of the time, in confrontational type matters. Now, flirtation line, I could flirt and do all the yes, baby, you're the best, and all that other stuff. Yeah, I could woo that way. I could lie that way, but if you confront me about stuff, I really have a problem with holding my tongue about certain things. I'm pretty much the best at it. I mean, they made me look like an angel, which I kind of am, not really, but kind of sort of, but yeah, I mean, my edit was pretty good. I definitely have to do something different. Obviously, I've been there twice so far, and I didn't quite reach the goal. I like reaching my goals. I like, you know, getting to the final two or the end of it. So I'm definitely going to try to be more sociable, be a little bit more smiley, maybe a little bit more cunning, try to bite my tongue and do what I have to do to get to the end.
Why is Colby back. I wish he would just get over whatever it is he doesn't like about me so we could just be friends, and like if this happens again we could get along or something. He's always nice to my face, but like behind my back he says the most awful things. And you know, listening to the show and the things that he was saying about me, that was hard. I've had enough time to like sit and look at my 2 different strategies that I played. And there's one common denominator in both of those, and that is that I never betrayed my alliance, and I never won. So I think I've just finally got to the point where I've realized that part of winning is, you know, being the kind of person that can break alliances with people and create new ones. And you just have to be adaptable and malleable. And I'm not going to stay fixed to one alliance this time. I'm doing whatever it takes. This time I want to win. There's absolutely no other reason for me to do this. So I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm kicking some serious ass. I'm going into this in like full-on warrior mode. That's me quoting Coach. The old Jerry is back, but this time with a lot more wisdom and experience with Survivor. My plan is to, you know, speak my mind, be vocal, and say what needs to be said, but not to the person who's pissing me off.
The girls are pretty tough. I would say, like, the girls that I've seen are competitors, you know? It's not like big characters, because it's like Candace, who was a big competitor, and Jerry Manthe was a competitor. She's a character, though, but I would say for the most part, it's just like we're competitors for the girl side, but then the guys are like characters, I would say. My strategy going into this game any time I play is just to play with the pieces that I have and make the puzzle work for me, basically. Just because the tension's gonna be so high because everyone is such a very strong personality that's going back. I think I'm just gonna try to be a positive force out there and make friends, and I wanna form a relationship with every single person out there, and it doesn't matter if I think they're a threat or not. I'm gonna consider everyone a threat. You know, just in case, because the last time I think I took some people for granted and just assumed that they weren't a threat, and they ended up being a threat, and they ended up making the jury, and I could have completely ruined my game because I didn't give those people the credit that they deserved. So this time, I think going back, I've learned from that mistake the last time, and I'm gonna change my strategy. Since Micronesia, this year I've been competing in triathlons, making sure my endurance is up there, just for those challenges. Honestly, mentally, it's gonna be like a vacation for me because life has been so crazy. Like real life for me has been so crazy recently. Like this year it's been one crisis after another, putting out fire after fire after fire, that I'm looking forward to going to an island as an escape from my real life. So excited to not have access to the world. Like beyond thrilled.
It's kind of the same strategy, but this time I think there's some built-in conflict going back to Australia, if not Borneo. I'm not even sure who's here, but I think there's some built-in feuds that, I hate to say Randy and Under the Radar in the same sentence, but it might be a ticket to, a long way, at least the jury, just to watch. Colby and Jerry are going to be battling, and obviously Sugar's going to have it out for me, but I don't think about Sugar, believe it or not. It's a waste of time. She's probably smarter than I gave her credit for in Gabon, but yeah, if you go into this game with, I got to get this person out, you're doomed. I'm trying not to hold what happened in Gabon against Sugar, just like I'm not going to hold what I saw on TV against some of these other players. Going into Gabon, I really did not think I could win. I thought I was an expert at the game. I knew how to play it. And I thought I would be fun to watch. I thought I'd be mildly entertaining, and I thought I'd make it to the jury, which all those things happened. But now, seeing the people that actually beat me in Gabon, I 100% know now that I can win. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I thought I knew everything there was about how to play this game until I played it. And you don't know anything until you've played it.
We did the Amazing Race twice, got married, and most recently Amber and I just had a baby girl. It's funny because at first when they called me and they asked me if I wanted to do it again, my initial reaction was like, oh, that'll be fun. And then like reality started to set in and I'm like, I'm gonna have like a month-old daughter. I don't know if I can do it. And Amber like looked at me and she's like, how can you not go? She's like, are you serious? Like everything we have in our life has been because of Survivor. Like she's like, you have to go back. She's like, if it was me, I would go back. I can't. You have to go for us. I figure the 5th time has got to be a charm, right? I mean, I really don't see how I can lose with this group. I don't really know half of them, but I don't see how it can work against me. You know, I think you're going to get the same old me. To be honest with you, I'm at a different point in my life than I was 5 years ago, the last time I played. I'm married now, I have a kid. I've learned a few things. I've learned compromise through marriage and with the new baby girl, patience, of course. I mean, it's definitely more motivation, but I think from my daughter, I've learned, you know, more patience that maybe I didn't have 5 years ago. Things are a little bit calmer in my life now, so rather than just jump into decisions on who we're going to axe next, maybe I try to do it in a more democratic way. You know what, more than anything else, the reason I'm back is because I want to win. I mean, I'm a competitor by nature, but I want to win the game. Like, the $1 million is great, and that's always been a motivation of mine, but like, coming in second on Survivor, then doing the race and coming in second, I mean, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm here to win this time. I'm going to do whatever I can.
I wanted to challenge myself. You know, I wanted to go out there and prove that I can manipulate people. I really can get in people's heads and make them do what I want them to do. And that's exactly what I did. So I thought that I could do it. Now I just know I can do it. I've seen almost every single episode, and you know, I'm the one sitting on the couch hollering at the TV saying, what the hell are they thinking? You know, they need to do this, they need to do that. So when I got the call, I was pretty excited about it. I think some people are gonna like me, but most people are gonna hate me. I did, you know, I played how I thought I should play. You know, everything I'd done, everything, even if I was vindictive, I did it strategically. I didn't do anything on purpose that I didn't know what the result was gonna be. So everything that I did was a strategic play. So I could care less what people think about me, because I went there to play the game. The first time, I went to teach myself a lesson. Now, I'm going to teach all these brats a lesson. You know what? It took them 19 seasons to find me. 19 times. They finally find somebody that can dominate this game. And if they think that a bunch of all-stars will come out here and play with me, they got another thing coming. I'm going to run their heads like I ran the first ones. And it ain't going to be no competition. I'll tell you right now, yeah, I'm going to walk through it.
Since I last was on the show and stopped being a pharmaceutical rep, I hosted a few things. I did some red carpet events. I did a couple different specials for some different networks. Let's see, I modeled a little bit, which I'm not a model, but it was kind of fun. I did some fitness things. And then probably the biggest thing I've done is I bought a restaurant in Philadelphia about 2 years ago with my brother. And it's been going really well. It's in a really cool part of the city. And that's where I met my new fiance. Got engaged like a month ago. He's not a big Survivor fan. So he's really supportive. His mom and his grandpa are like really big fans of the show. Not that they know, but they will know. And he's excited about that. But you know, it's just tough because with his career and everything, and it's like a crucial time kind of in his career this year. And it looks like a great group of people, but it's a really odd cast. And for me, because I haven't really watched it in a few years, there's like 3 people. I have no idea who they are. I don't know their names, and I have no idea about their gameplay. And then I know the old school guys and girls. But, you know, it's like it's been so long, you know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to already be thinking of my alliances right now because I really don't know what's going to happen when we hit that beach. I don't know who's going to be on what tribe. But I am excited to see Tom. Tom's somebody that I, for the most part, could relate to and could trust. So I'm hoping that this time we're on the same team. And that's kind of like a little piece of home for me out there, which is really important to have. The money is amazing, but I want to win. I want that title. with the money, of course, just because, I mean, I was so close. I was runner-up. And it's like twice to do that and come so close. I mean, the first time I even got close, but it was like I was outnumbered. So for me this time, it's really important, and I think my downfall the second time, not necessarily that I had to kind of play a little more strategic and I had to kind of lie and stuff, but other than that, I didn't explain myself well enough on the jury. So this time, if I do get to the end, if I do get to the final 2 or final 3, whatever they're going to do, I want to individually address every jury member and really try to make myself like understood as to why I made certain moves and play obviously as honest as possible because it only hurts you in the end. But it's a game and everybody knows that. I mean, this is an all-star cast. Everybody's played. Everybody knows you're going to screw people over a little bit. You have to.
I had so much fun the first time, and I met so many good friends through this like cool group of survivors because we have all experienced something that a lot of people don't get to. I just had so much fun this last year hosting and doing charity events and going out and meeting everybody that I figured, why not? So JT, yes, and I have a thing, and I don't know how secret it is because of this some YouTube video fan put out, and like, you know, people talk, and so I have a few secret alliances besides JT, but JT is my main alpha male, but I have 3 or 4 possibly, and then there's 1 or 2 I might be able to pick up along the way. All I know is the girls want me dead. The power players that use their looks like Parvati would probably want me dead, even though we kind of know each other, but I want her dead because she doesn't return phone calls, so she can die first. I don't care. But I do know that Micronesia has to die because there's like 5 of them, and if we don't kill them before they meet up, then they're gonna. My alliances are definitely stronger with males than females. I have 2 female alliances, but they're girls. We're not that great of friends, and so that can get broken anytime. But that would be with Jerry and Courtney, and nobody knows about that either. There's a couple of people I'm like, okay, I remember their season, I remember their game, I remember what they did, but they really weren't that entertaining or that good of a game player. I think they know I'm smarter than I tried to come across at first, and I know that they know I play with my heart a lot, and I also know that they know I blindside a lot too. Like as soon as we're done here and we get on a plane and I dress like my alternative normal self, then maybe some of the girls will be like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, she's not like all crazy and dresses like this all the time.
I stayed on the fire department for another 6 months after I played the game, and it was I would approach my 20th year anyway, and we were thinking about what the next stage was going to be. So Survivor just was an easy catapult into something new. So I had a year or 2 of the silly post-Survivor stuff and some opportunities to capitalize on there. But I had a relationship that went back to Hartford Insurance and an opportunity that I decided to act on, and it's been a good fit. So it's entirely different than my old life, but good in a different way. It wasn't an initial yes. It was kind of easy to say no to, and I've been okay with playing it once and done, and it went the way I wanted it to go. And then after initially saying no, my wife was working on me and fearing that I was going to regret it and look back and say, you know, it was the most fun you ever had and you're getting a chance to do it twice. Why would you say no to this? So I started to soften up, and next thing I know, I was giving them a call back and saying, okay. It's a little daunting going in, and you hope that that's not the target that they put on you and say he won, get rid of him. I'm hoping that they say he won, they'll never give him the money again, take him a little closer to the end, he's not the threat. So hopefully get to play the game a little that way and say, you know, convince somebody that they want to be sitting across from a previous winner when they're at their final tribal.
Well, going into it before when I got invited, I was like, this is going to be pretty hard. But then looking at them, I'm like, they didn't choose really...
Anyone you thought?
Well, no, they chose some people I thought, but I thought, like physically, I thought they were going to have somebody here that's more comparable to me. But there's nobody there that can beat me in anything that takes talent. Like maybe somebody's going to be able to lift more weight than me, because I'm not a bodybuilder. That's the one thing I don't do. But everything else is like, unless it's like shooting fish in a barrel with a blindfold on. It would be a good challenge. I'd still probably win, but there's a chance I could not win. I'm a physical threat, but I'm also quite charming, and I'm not that annoying. I actually, coming over, I was thinking Suri could be a good one to align with. just because we'd be like the odd couple. And if we could keep it on the down low, like be separate, that is the hardest part, because all we want to do is be together. Well, I thought about it, and I thought if somebody gave me $1 million to not play, I'd take it. So I'm assuming it's probably the money. When you look back, like I look back on Brazil when I played there, and I think, yeah, that was really fun. But then I've been watching episodes of other survivors, I'm like, it's actually quite miserable. Like, I had fun out there, and it was fun, but there were definitely moments where I was like, this blows. Why do I do this? Yeah, you forget the negative. You're like, this is so awesome. This old lady in California Pizza Kitchen recognized me. I can't believe it. Finally. I'm stronger than everybody. So to deal with the elements and stuff, it will take its toll, I'm sure, but it will take its toll on everybody else more than me. So, I mean, if you look at most of these people, I would say at least 90% of them are borderline psychotic. No, maybe not psychotic, maybe that's a harsh word, insane. Borderline insane. And with the combination of no food and dehydration and lack of sleep and the elements, it's going to make for good TV. But I feel like I can hold it together better than most of them.